Good day. I'm Jack Murphy, and welcome to Beyond the Stream, presented by HTC. And joining us now from HTC is the marketing manager, Sandy Hendrick.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, friend. Long time no see.
It's been a little while.
Has been. They keeping you busy over there?
We're staying busy. That's good. Never a complaint on that.
Man, you guys are involved in so much, and we'll dig into what the company's got going on as we embrace yet another wonderful year of growth, a lot of growth. I wonder what kind of challenges that puts on your company, but let's go back in time, man. I remember the first time you sat down on a TV set, Chew the Fat with us, and how many years ago was that?
You know, I don't know if I'm going to know the years, but I remember sitting on the front porch, studio on Main Street.
Wow.
You know, kind of rocking back and forth in the rocking chair. So that's got to be what, at least 20 years ago?
It's 25, I'm thinking.
So, well, I've been, that may be right. I've been at HTC now 26 years, so that would be, right on that time frame.
My math is really good. I have to be, because I've been married 28 years. It's important that you remember certain dates.
So, easier way to do it, I got married in 2000. You just count up the years after that.
Man, you got lucky.
So
I had a 97, so I got to go to 2000 and then add 3.
You could have waited 3 years.
Yeah. What got you into HTC, though? I know your family was from this area.
So I grew up on Conway, right in Main Street. Definitely, through the years, grandfather was fire chief here. Mm-hmm. My dad was the police chief, so Conway was just home. I wanted to stay here, so looking at options. I had a business management degree. HTC was one of those companies that looked like it would be a great opportunity. Mm-hmm. At the time, when I came in, it was in the marketing department. They were just getting started. If you kind of go back in history a little bit with HTC, as the original telephone company, you can imagine, a lot of times, similar to an electric company, you had your footprint. Wasn't a lot of competition. I kind of got the benefit of coming in right when that competition was growing. And so the marketing department was a year old at that point in time. So it was almost getting to kind of step in and learn things that you didn't know. There wasn't a set pattern on how to do things. So it just kind of became really fun. And I've been in the marketing department now, like I said, for 26 years and loved it.
Wow. Yeah, I think about the early days of the co-op, because I hope I get the date correct. I know our anniversaries and when you started. 1952?
1952.
Okay.
So, we'll be coming up 2027, our 75th anniversary.
Unbelievable.
So definitely some big key dates to be looking forward to.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the Andy Griffith Show. I think most people know that. And there's an operator on there. We never see Sarah. It was almost like that. Once upon a time.
Yeah, so back in the day, the great thing where we're at now, I remember coming in on the day to where internet was just dial-up. I mean, if you think back that long,
you guys rolled that out in 1995?
Yeah, so we had the dial-up coming in, early 2000s is when you start moving in, and that's when we had cable modem came out, and it was the one-way cable modem.
Yeah.
So you had, fast speeds down, but you still had the telephone line connecting it for anything going back up. Then DSL. And of course, DSL at that time was, that's the greatest technology out there on copper lines. So now, fast forward, we spent about the last 10 years making an investment and putting fiber in. I would say in the next year to year and a half, we'll be complete with our fiber build and be 100% fiber, taking us into the future. The great thing about that then combines us from having a DSL network, a cable network, and a fiber network down to one central network now. Preparing ourselves and our members for the future.
I'm going to ballpark here on the fiber front. 13,000 miles.
Yes, I think we were 12,500. So by the time we're done, we'll be over 13,000 miles. So that's Horry County, Georgetown County, and Marion County now that we have our footprint in.
That's some more of that expansion. That guarantees some safety over there in the marketing department, because you got new consumers you're trying to entice.
New consumers. The one thing that is probably our biggest challenge that we have in the marketing department is, this area. I mean, there's no doubt the growth here. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've seen it. You've been here. I've been here. Love Conway. Conway's still a great place, but it's so different. I tell people, 10 years ago, I could walk into a restaurant in Conway and I'd know everybody. I walk in there now and it's like, man, other than the waitress or bartenders, I don't know anybody, which is not a bad thing. It's just so much growth happening here. And the people coming down, we have to spend so much time then spending, who is HTC? They know the bigger guys when they come in from wherever they move from, but it's like, since we're just regional, who is HTC?
Sure.
So that's been the fun part about marketing right now, is spending so much time, I'll call building awareness and community. I mean, we live by 3 C's, and community is one of them. So our investment back in the community, being involved, whether it's at festivals, and we talk about RiverTalk back in the day, being on the stage. That's probably the first one I came on, was probably to talk about Riverfest that was going on downtown. Sure. And our involvement in that. But sometimes just being out in community events to where we may have a food truck or an ice cream truck just in a neighborhood, and getting the neighbors to come out and speak with us. We have so much fun doing that. Our volunteer efforts of being out there. So, again, internet is our key business. The competition offers internet. At the end of the day, what sets us apart is going to be that community long term and what we can build. So.
Sure. Yeah, very seldom have I ever had any technical issues where something didn't work. But in those rare occasions, and it was mostly driven by a storm that rolled in and those sort of things, because I was still on the copper line. But a lot of times, even now, whoever's on the other end, when I call, I don't know who I'm going to be talking to, but they pretty much figure it out. It's like you talk to your neighbor.
So here's the great thing. One, love that you said it's talking to your neighbor, because it may be your neighbor.
It is.
Who we have. We employ all our employees here. So we live here, we work here. To say the great thing about fiber and technology. And we have our smart Wi-Fi product that we put out. It does allow kind of all the network to see some visibility, so to speak, that allows us to do troubleshooting before you even call sometimes. Now, let me preface this with saying, if I told you that we would never have an outage or service would never be out, I would be lying to you.
Sure.
And we never want to give that indication, because, again, things are so much more complex. One day would love to be able to kind of pull back the curtain for our members to see what actually it takes. It's not just, turning on your computer or turning on your TV and streaming and voila, it works. The behind the scenes of all the pieces and components that, while we're moving to one network of fiber, the complexity, and the amount of data that's going over that network and continue to engineer for it, continues to grow and
Sure.
expand. And again, our goal, got redundancy built in, all this stuff. I mean, we would love to say 100% and never down. Again, don't want to say that because it happens. But again, I think to your point, when it happens, how do we get that resolved? What's the time? You being able to call in and talk to somebody and handle that. So we hope our people make the difference in that situation.
And it's seamless because whoever's on the other side is remotely there. It's not like I have to unhook a piece of equipment. I mean, it's a smooth operation now.
Yeah, I would say a lot of times they can handle it over the phone now. Sometimes we're going to have to send out a tech.
Yep.
Different things may happen at the home. But again, I love how you say they're there, because they actually are there. I'll say here within Horry County, Georgetown, or Marion. So it's not that you're calling somewhere else across the country. So we are here.
Yeah, cutting the cable was a big thing. I know the phone used to ring over there at your office. It was one of the things, because of the nature of my business, talking about things in talk show formats, you got to stay up on top of the issues. Man, people used to just burn up my ears. Why is my cable bill going up? I mean, we even had Congress get involved to make sure that didn't happen, and it continues to happen. That's probably tapered off now as people have moved to a kind of an internet-based way of getting their entertainment.
So, great conversation. Probably one I'd love to come back and even spend more time on. It's one of those things that when it comes to a video in general, there was one point in time that video was the most prevalent part of our business. Maybe 10 years ago. Of course, now we're an internet company. And, this video industry has completely changed. Rates are not going down. At some point in time, this bubble is going to explode. The programmers out there, they're trying to say you direct to consumer. They're still trying to keep this piece of the linear business that we call it with cable operators. That's still where they make a large portion of their money. But those subscribers are going down. I mean, naturally, and I blame it on the programmers. They kind of ran them off. I mean, when you went from a $50 cable bill to now you're at $150, they created what people had asked for. I'm going to call it this a la carte. But ultimately, at the end of the day, man, when you start figuring out by the time you got this app, that app, and about 3 more, you got the a la carte to pick what you wanted, and now you've picked everything again, and you're back to that price.
Right, yeah.
But what we love to say, we've spent a lot of time this year on streaming education. We're not to the point, we have video in our HTC Max product. If you want it from HTC, we have it to offer you. Again, it's going to be at the price. I mean, we are not making money off of it. It's a main pass-through to the programmers on what they charge. But we encourage members to look out there at other options now, whether it be the YouTube, the Hulu, the various direct-to-consumer apps. There are other options. And again, our thing, let us provide the pipe to you for the internet, give you that experience for you, and then wherever you need your video from, we're okay with that.
Introducing products and there'll always be an evolution of technology. So I think you guys are safe in the marketing department. Was it easy to get people to buy into the concept of the TV Max product you have?
So it took a little while. You always got your early adopters. I mean, people that jump on technology. What I'll say about our video today, it's less of people coming in new to that product. I'll say the 30, 35-year-olds. They may have never even watched TV. I mean, we had this conversation with some friends last night.
Wow.
They sit there and maybe have a TV to watch, but they're watching it on a smaller screen. That's just how they're used to consuming video content now. The hardest part about all this is change for people. I mean, if you think, we've been in the industry for a long time, television has been television. You turn on the TV and voila, it works. So while now you've got a lot more options, it's different. But once we get people over there, they typically go, oh, okay, now that I'm here, I like it. I kind of explain it no different than at one point in time you picked up the phone to call people, or you had your wireless phone, and now you have a computer in your pocket. It took people time to get there, but now they couldn't live without it. So I think video will become the same way. It's just in this change process, and sometimes people are hesitant to change. But as we move people over, and again, come to Max, or hey, go to another solution. We're good with that.
Even the old days of, I want to keep my phone. I got to have a home phone. That had to be kind of a re-education thing as you guys moved off from copper lines to VoIP. There had to be some old guy. I was one of those guys that said, I want to have the last copper line that HTC has. So didn't work out for me. I moved my office.
No, I'll say it again, same thing. Change is change sometimes. I mean, it's hard for some people. And again, it's just, I won't even say it's different. It's sometimes, hey, this is what I've got. It works. Why do I need to change? But again, in a technology business, if we talk 3 years from now, 5 years from now, we're probably talking about the next evolution of something.
Sure.
Even with our equipment, whatever we put in for your house today, in 2 or 3 years, we're going to need to probably be replacing that. I mean, things are going to evolve, and to stay up with technology, we have to stay on top of that. The consumer has to be aware of it, and it's just, change is inevitable.
There is always change, and it keeps coming. Yeah, I'm still just blown away of when you guys were putting the conduit and investing in the fiber. I mean, I thought you were nuts. You guys were out there in like cornfields and soybean fields out at the edge of the road. I'm like, man, there's nobody out here. And now there's like subdivisions and 300 people live on this road that weren't here 10 years ago. Mind-boggling. That is such a, connectivity to the internet. This has got to be one of the most connected places in America.
I would love to be able to kind of, share a map that we share. So, before COVID, we had already made that commitment and that investment. We were putting it out there. Post-COVID, when a lot of the federal funds came in to kind of, Connect America Fund, these different things, to build out more broadband and internet to places, we had already been there. So if you'd have looked at a map of the state of South Carolina, the Horry County, Georgetown area was already kind of filled in before COVID in a lot of places. There were a few little gaps, and if you looked at the rest of the state, it was just kind of wide open. So now it's filled in over time, but yeah, I think the vision and foresight of some of our upper management beforehand to make this commitment is really what's made us, where we are, taking us where we are today.
All right, my friend. Well, it's always good to see you. And we couldn't have thought of anybody better to kick off our new project Beyond the Stream than with Sandy Hendrick from HTC.
Well, I appreciate that. So hope you invite me back.
All right, here's to another 25 or 26 years.
So
we'll
at least
do
five.
The math.
At least 5.
Really, don't start counting down the days, man. I mean, what am I going to do? I got a whole new crop of kids coming in. The RiverTalk guy, he's always been around. I love the fact that people associate me with HTC. I love it. I've been not just a customer, but kind of a member of the co-op for
So you said
time.
a member, no customers, members.
I'm a member.
Member.
Yeah, we'll get you back and we'll talk about capital credits and voting rights and all that good stuff.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Sandy.
Appreciate it, Jack.
Appreciate you checking out this edition of Beyond the Stream presented by HTC.